Right, hi everyone, thank you for coming back. I'm recording this, so for people who have to pop away or whatever, we'll be able to put it on the website and stuff to explain, and also we've got the leaflets and stuff to take home. So this has been a long journey that the church has been on and is still on. You know the history of the building. This is here because of the vision of Bishop Neville Gorton, who stood on the spot probably in about 1955 and had a real heart for the community, a heart to reach out to the people who would be moving onto the estate as it was being built. So there was a real sense of mission in the purpose of it being here, and he had this sense, of it being a light, the idea of a city built on a hill, a light shining over the community. And that's what we've been seeking to do ever since. When they first kind of did the rounds of fundraising and things to build this space, originally it was going to just be the church space. But then, again, a missionary heart said, actually, no, let's build a hall in addition to the church space so that it can be a real service to the community. Barbara will know this more than I will, and so we've had things like, we've had classrooms being taught in the hall, we've had the uniform groups meeting in here, all sorts of birthday parties and all, every single possible gathering, weddings, funeral masses, that sort of thing have all happened in this space because of the original vision and sacrifice of that first community. But there's a sense in which we want to complete that welcome. There's been a heart for an extra space for probably about 30 years. I believe that it was in the 90s when there was talk about some sort of entrance foyer being built in addition to the hall. And so this is the latest part of the journey. And just want to share the vision for this next chapter, if you like, of our life here as our church. And it's a way of leaving a legacy in the same way that the people did in the early 60s. This is a way of leaving a legacy for those who will come after us. And so we have, I'll just go through the different drawings for you, and then I'll take some questions and give a kind of sketch of what the timeline might look like. So the first thing is that we have, come on, let's go, there we go, a new entrance that's visible, easy, and inviting. Tom, is this up on the screen? Is it? Yeah, great. So you can see here that you've got at the top the entrance that we've got, or the side of the church, and then the new entrance that will be built. The church worship space, I think this space is actually quite, I know it's enormous, but actually it's quite hidden. You often hear from people who come into the hall, or they've been in the hall for years, that they've never really seen the other side of those doors. It's partly why we had glass doors installed, just to kind of allow people to kind of get a glimpse inside, but often the blinds are shut between, so people can't see inside. And so people are genuinely surprised. This is a beautiful space, and people are genuinely surprised about that when they look inside. And it's also why we open it for the fairs and stuff that we've had, so people can inhabit this building. The modern foyer will change that. It makes the whole church visible and inviting to everyone who passes by. One of the questions I would love to ask an utter stranger, tell me how you get into this church currently. Getting those blue doors? No, they're locked from the outside, the inside. You have to unlock them. You have to go through that door to get round to unlock them from there. It's not very practical. I know that from having let in school groups and stuff, but it could be a bit of a hassle actually trying to work out how I can actually let them in. And then, or you go through those doors there, but you've got to go through the hall to get into the church, and often there's a group inside. So that's not very easy either. So how do we, this releases the space. And also this makes a very clear entrance to the building. So this is here. You are welcome. Please come in. And this is the front view. It's clear, it's level access, it's a clear front door to the building. So whether someone's pushing a buggy or a wheelchair, the entrance is designed to be easy, to be inviting, ensuring that the first thing people see isn't just a locked door, but actually it's a warm welcome. It's light inside. I think it's a vibrant space. And it's another view from another angle. And actually, the design also fixes a major practical frustration. Currently, you can't get into the church, this space, without going through the hall. Unless someone is there, as I said, to unlock the doors from the inside. And then this creates, if you like, an internal bypass and links the spaces together. And so it means that we don't have to choose between security and hospitality. People can be welcome to come in. It'd be wonderful that people could come into the space to have a quiet moment. And we want to make it as easy as possible to feel like this place, God's house, can be their home too. This is what the internal view looks like. It's a foyer, but it's a cafe space. It's friendly, it's open, it's inviting. If you like, it's a community living room. It's a dedicated space where people can meet together, have connection, maybe after services or during the week. You can see it also ends the issues that we have with bottlenecks. I've seen it at Messy Church where people are queuing to come in. They or some of the events that we've had where people have been on the door and it's been cold outside and they're getting wet while they're waiting to come in. Because the entrance space at the moment is really small and cramped. I see it regularly on a Saturday morning as you've got parents waiting to pick up or drop off their kids, and it's raining outside, but they either have to send their kids out while they're waiting in the car. It's not practical at the moment. Well, this resolves that because it's a space for them. It provides a warm indoor welcome where families can gather comfortably no matter whatever the weather. And there's also a coffee servery, so can be a place for hospitality. It doesn't replace the existing kitchen that we have, it supplements it. It's not designed to be an either-or, it's to add to the welcome that we have. And this space can be a vital space for Sundays as kids go out to their groups, or it can offer multiple gathering places for the uniform groups like the Brownies or the Guides. Basically, multiple activities will be able to happen simultaneously without one group's arrival interrupting another meeting. And this is, if you like, an aerial view. The grey space at the bottom of the screen is the church. Then you've got what it will look like, the new extension to the right, and then you've got the hall on the top left. And you can see it provides access and flow through to the toilet facilities and the kitchen. And this basically unlocks the building. It brings the church and the hall together into one cohesive space. It resolves problems like accessing the toilets and the kitchen from the church when the hall is in use. And this is a weekly issue that we have currently at our midweek service. At the moment, we're meeting in the winter in the meeting room because it's cold outside and it's not very pleasant, but partly because if anyone needs the loo, who's part of that service, they currently have to go out those doors, round the side, and in to the building again to get to the toilet or the kitchens. And it resolves that. It means we can have people in the different spaces easily. It gives seamless access. So these are some kind of notional dates. This isn't the law of the Medes and the Persians. We might not be able to stick to them, but this is what the target is potentially. So we're in a season where we're trying to get the designs finalised and also permissions like we need planning permission, we need to have a faculty and to build our case for that. So that's the permission from the council, but also for the diocese to make these happen. Over the next few months, there'll be a community consultation using the feedback cards that you hopefully been given, and building the case for funding, and saying this is why we need it, because the majority of the money is going to be coming from grants. Under no illusion, the target is approximately in the region of 335,000. It might be less than that depending on whether we have to pay VAT or not, but it's a big target. It's by no means as large as quite a lot of church builds, but I'm aware the only way that it will happen will be for the provision of grants. And so the target is to build our case, and then if we've built a cohesive enough case, a strong enough case, then we begin applying for the major grants that we'll need. They might come, you might get grants in small amounts, but also there are some grant bodies that offer larger amounts of money for projects like this. This is the thing for the community, so it's a more attractive, it's an attractive thing. So agencies like the Veolia Trust, who supported our refurbishment of the church hall in 2019, and the additional storage space that was used all the time, that came from a grant from the Veolia Trust. We have that's a target. It's a big target, and that's the sort of timeline. It may not be strictly that, but that's what we will be aiming for. And then once we've got sufficient money, then we'll build. We don't know when that might be. You know, if God provides quickly, then it could be we'd be ready to build at the end of 2027. We just don't know. All of this is dependent on God and His provision for us. And also, it's just a thank you. We've already raised through different things. We've had a legacy, we've had sponsorship money come in, we've had a couple of events, we've had people already giving, which means we've already got a foundation of £17,000 that's been raised. And that fee, that 335,000 was like the total project cost, including all the kind of consultancy fees and architects' fees. That's all in. That's the estimate. So we've got a good foundation in place. And I just want to reassure people that, in case people are worried, we're not going to be pursuing this project to the detriment of the ongoing maintenance of the church or our day-to-day ministry. We want to continue to fund our worship, our youth and children's ministry, the upkeep of our current building. This is about how we grow. This isn't about diverting resources. So we'll take our time. If the money doesn't come in and it takes its time, then it might be that this is something that we have as a legacy for the next generation. But you never know. God is the one who has the money. He has all we need. He is our provider. And so we trust in Him. And part of this is we step forward in hope, and we see what happens. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we look back in maybe 5 years' time with this project completed and just going, wow, that seemed impossible, but God made it possible. So that's it, really. Please do use the feedback cards. We'd really love to get your responses to the designs, express how the changes would help you. We just need to get stories of and people's comments, because they're the best evidence we can have for the grant applications. They're anonymous, the cards, but if you did want to get involved in helping with a project in any way, then just put your name and contact details on, and then we can look at. There's different ways that support. I mean, we need people to help with the community audit. It'd be great to get these cards and feedback in the different community groups. So from the community centre and the school and the library and other places where people gather who might have an opinion, who have a stake in this building. Because there's going to be plenty of people who aren't part of the church at the moment, for whom actually St. Christopher's is still their church. And we want to say, look, we want you to feel at home here. We want this to be a place that serves you, that serves your family. And also, we will need some fundraising events and things like that we need to be organised. If you want to be involved in that in any different way, then please just stick your name and contact details on the card so we have an idea of who's out there to support. I'll need support in the process of researching and drafting applications for the grants. It's quite a daunting process. And above all, pray. And actually, if you just want to say, I can't do much, but I can pray for this and commit to praying for this, then that's a huge blessing as well. And I want to know, because I can then say, okay, this is what's happening. Can you pray for this next thing? The leaflet's there for you to take home. Maybe you can put it somewhere you'll see. Put it on your fridge maybe, or with your Bible. Use the images to pray for the project. Pray for the permissions we need and then the community audit process over the summer. Also, if you know someone who used to come to the church, or a neighbour who uses the hall for a group who isn't part of the worshipping community, take a copy for them. If you know people who use the group for their own, use the church building for their own groups that they host, actually they're really key people, they're key stakeholders, and so getting them involved and supporting would be really helpful. Because we want this to be a place of welcome for the whole community, and this is an important key way of ensuring that